Today I'm going to reveal to you the bulletproof mindset that you can apply right here, right now, as soon as you're done watching this video, so you can lose anywhere between 8 to 10 pounds per month consistently and never have to worry about staying stuck at your weight loss plateau ever again. So watch until the end of this video because I'm going to reveal to you the simplistic framework and very easy to apply principles that I've integrated into my busy lifestyle to stay consistent with my own regimen so I can have a body fat percentage of 5% year-round without having to count or restrict a single calorie, without having to track any food at all whatsoever. So getting right into it here, I'm going to pull up my vision board and basically reveal to you the principles that I live by in order to see those amazing results. And to be quite honest with you, the things I'm about to share with you right now are not going to be pleasant and they're not going to sound fun, right? So in order for you to actually change, you have to be willing to change. As simplistic as that sounds, it's very, very straightforward, right? If you actually want to see changes in the mirror, you actually want to see a different number on the scale, you can't expect to be doing the same exact thing every single day that is literally putting you in this position where you are right now watching this video and expect to see a different result. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You might as well bang your head up against a wall and then expect for your headache to go away, right? So I don't see why many people are questioning the BS that is coming out of many of these fitness influencers and coaches' mouths whenever they tell their clients or potential clients that they can eat ice cream and lose weight as long as they're in a caloric deficit, or they can still, eat their favorite foods as long as they do X, Y, or Z. And to be completely honest with you, these are all marketing gimmicks so that they can get you into their weight loss program and then tell you how things really work. If we're going to be honest here, you want to find the balance between being uncomfortable and being comfortable. But you want to have that good pain to pleasure relationship where you're uncomfortable, I would say at least 60 to 70% of the time, and then allow for the pleasure to come later with that extra 30% of comfort. So that is the first principle that I'm going to reveal to you right now. If you are not uncomfortable 60 to 70% of the time, you are not going to see consistent progress. All substantial changes that are actually worth mentioning, they all came from a place of discomfort. Think about any time in your life where you've noticed some substantial success, whether it be with your career, whether it be, getting married and finding the wife of your dreams, having 2 kids, whatever it is, right? All of that, even though all those things I just said were pretty happy things that sound comforting, you definitely had to go through some level of discomfort to get there in the first place, right? So if we were in a position where we could just stay 100% comfortable just sitting in our comfort zone all the time, every single day, week in and week out, and still see amazing results with our health, with our career, whatever it may be, there would be no value in achieving anything. Same thing goes with your body, same thing goes with losing weight, or anything else that is health related, right? So if you think about, how far you've come in your career, you're doing well with your career, you're doing well financially, you got an occupation that you really love, and you've been working in your industry for a very long time, and then you get to the point where you look in the mirror and you see a body that you can't even recognize, what's the point of all of that hard work if you don't even have a body that you can actually visibly see in the mirror and love and enjoy, right? Because the whole point of working really hard is so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? You want to have that good pain to pleasure relationship. You want to work really hard so you can play really hard. What's the point of working really hard when it's time to play, when it's time to have some fun, and you are overweight, you have a gut, and you don't even want to take your shirt off? So if you are sick and tired of feeling that way about yourself, you need to make some discomforting changes like you did with your career. So that's my first piece of advice. Embracing discomfort so you can actually change to change, right? Because 60 to 70% of the American population is struggling, yet 60 to 70% of people that are struggling don't do anything about it and they just stay in their comfort zone, right? So one other big principle is not to look back. You're not going that way. This is an amazing quote from Ragnar Lothbrok from my absolute favorite show, Vikings. Travis Fimmel is an absolute animal. He did a really, really good job playing this character, but I must say this is by far the best quote in the entire show for how long it lasted. I think it lasted anywhere between 6 to 8 years. This is by far the best quote, and I binge watched it a little bit too much. So it was for sure one that stuck out. But really thinking about this, right? If you are trying to progress and you're actually trying to see, substantial changes on the scale or in the mirror, you can't look back at your past mistakes and let that define you. You have to continue to let your past mistakes fuel your motivation for the future, right? So it all comes back down to responding to adversity. If you don't respond well to adversity, you're not going to be able to actually thrive in harsh conditions and adapt, right? Because that's really what we've been doing really the entire existence of humanity here. And it comes back to discomfort as well, right? So if you're in a place of unfamiliarity and you have to make some sort of a change in order to actually see a difference in your life, whether it be with your career, whether it be with your health, or whatever example you'd like to use, you cannot use negative examples from the past to therefore fuel negative emotion in the present, to therefore put you in a position where you're not going to do anything and you're just going to let your past experiences dictate the present, right? It should be the opposite. You should let your past examples, negative or positive, fuel your motivation for the present so you can make good decisions in the future going forward. So once again, it all comes down to responding to adversity. Your success is defined by how you respond to adverse situations and adversity in general. If you're somebody that just crumbles under the pressure, you don't want to, do anything about your current situation, you're not open to any criticism, you're not open to making any changes, then you're going to stay stuck. It's guaranteed, right? There's not much in this world that's guaranteed, but that is. If you ensure that you just do the same old bullshit that keeps you stuck and is keeping you in the position where you're in right now, then you can guarantee that you're not going to see any results, right? Because if you embrace uncertainty and some level of risk and taking a leap of faith, that's where true change occurs. Once again, from a place of discomfort, because all those things are uncomfortable. Uncertainty, risk, doing things that you don't like to do, even though you have to do it anyway. That's the definition of being a man. Doing things that you don't like to do, even though you have to do them anyway. Mike Tyson said it best recently on Joe Rogan's podcast. You have to do things that you hate like you love them. And if you do that, there's no way you don't see progress. It's easier said than done, sure. But really think about that for a second. If you force yourself to do things almost just in a subconscious manner every single day where you're forcing yourself to work out without even thinking about it, you just pre-make some meals for the next day at work, even though you really don't feel like eating them, or whatever it may be, you're doing hard things that are going to benefit you later, benefit your future self. There's literally no way you don't see results. I have never, ever worked with somebody in my program that has targeted each and every muscle group each week, completed all of their workouts, ate a super anti-inflammatory diet that gave them a good insulin response with each and every meal, slept 8 to 9 hours per night, and then they somehow didn't see results. It doesn't work that way, right? But once again, it's guaranteed if you don't do anything about your situation and expect a different result. Once again, that is the definition of insanity. I'm not saying you're insane, but sometimes we just don't even really recognize what's going on with our health, and we've been so focused on our career and supporting our family for years and years. You're on autopilot for so long, you're just going and going and going. The next thing you know, you look in the mirror, you don't recognize yourself. I hear that time and time again from many clients that I work with all across the world, and it's the same theme. Do not get stuck in a rut where you put yourself in this position where you're on autopilot for so long to the point to where you've just been stagnant, not making any changes. You've been sitting in your comfort zone. You've been moving and moving, making strides with your career, but you haven't even taken a second to really pay some sort of attention to your health, and then you're here. It's not a big deal if you are here, though, and you have to lose some weight, but you have to take accountability for your situation and actively do something about it, right? Because if you don't, we know what the end result is. And one principle that hardly anybody talks about is focusing on the inputs instead of the outputs. Staying driven and focused on the inputs of your health, of your career, whatever it may be, and staying detached from the outputs or the outcome. right? Because if you're continuing to dial in your diet, dial in your health, right? You're working out consistently each and every week. You're consistently going to bed at the same time each and every hour. Then you're certainly going to see some really good changes and expect a good outcome, right? But you want to stay detached from that. Because I see so many people that are so focused on the outcome and on the output of their actions that they don't even focus on their actions anymore and they don't even do anything. And at that point, it's extremely easy to get discouraged, right? Let's say someone has a weight loss goal of getting down to 175 and they're 200 pounds. If you are constantly focused on the number itself, getting down to just that specific number and nothing else, you're not really focused on the inputs, you're not really focused on dialing in your diet, your exercise routine, your sleep routine, or anything else that involves actually seeing those results through your actions, then of course you're going to get discouraged if you're not focusing on those things, you're just focusing on the sheer number, which once again is certainly subjective, right? Water weight and things like that, your weight's going to go up. You have to look at your weight loss from a progressive point of view. And if you don't, and if you certainly just focus on the outcome itself instead of your inputs, you are going to put yourself in a position where you're going to be in stagnation nation and you will not see results. And once again, that is guaranteed. But you know what is guaranteed on the flip side is if you take action, you work out each and every week, you do things that you don't like to do even though you have to do them anyway, you will see results. And I know that throughout this entire video, it's been like the same theme here, doing things you don't like to do even though you have to do them anyway. Most coaches aren't going to be straight up and tell you the truth like that, but I will. I'm not going to give you some bullshit that you can eat ice cream and cookies and brownies and somehow lose weight, or you can only, do a 10-minute workout once per week and still see results. You can still tweak some of those things. You can still eat healthy and enjoy your diet. You can still, work out anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes at a time and still see some good results. But you can't just not do anything and see results. It's not going to happen. And the last principle I'm going to share with you today is your emotions should never dictate your behavior. And to be completely honest, if you had to take one thing away from this video, it would be that. Because it goes hand in hand with staying detached from the outcome, from the outputs, from the weight loss goal, whatever it may be, and focusing on your actions and the inputs, right? Because if we do get far too focused on the outcome or the end result too much on that finish line instead of the actual ground we're running on, dude, I mean, you're definitely going to get discouraged, you're going to get pissed off, you're going to get annoyed. And it's going to be very easy for your emotions to dictate your behavior. Embrace things that you don't like doing, even though you have to do them anyway, and change to change. In order to see a big difference in your life, you have to make big changes. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content from me in a short form, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at itsbobbyo'brien and message me there if you got any questions about how I can help you build your own bulletproof mindset so you can lose anywhere between 8 to 10 pounds per month. Or if you want to get started with me right away and join my health optimization program, you can book a call at the link below and we can fully customize a plan that is made just for you so you can start seeing results as quickly as right now. So I will see y'all in the next video.